I was a student at UWI Mona. There was a student living on our block who fancied himself as a Louis Armstrong in the making. Nothing wrong with that. The trouble was that he felt that he had to practice on his trumpet during the night whenever convenient to him. At one point, it became really overbearing. And when he was approached and requested to show some consideration for the rest of us who might have been studying or doing some other assignments, his answer was that he had as much right to make noise as we had right to be quiet. I'm sure that you encounter this kind of sophistry in your dealings with so many of us as educated people. We can reason, we can rationalize, but we are not reasonable. We are beyond the reach of reason, we are beyond the reach of common sense, we are beyond the reach of any kind of consensus because we can rationalize almost any situation. Ashley Montague, a great anthropologist, made this very sober observation, I quote, "Human beings are the only creatures who are able to behave irrationally in the name of reason." That's us. And so I'm saying here that we need now to do more to ensure that the ethic of reasonableness begins to pervade and permeate our society. Because if that happened, attitudes would be transformed. Interpersonal relationships would improve. People would be preoccupied not just with their rights, but with their responsibilities, their duties, their obligations. There will be less of that selfish arrogance due to the realization that none of us has all the answers. That in this economically beleaguered Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, we need each other because we're all in the same boat. Reasonableness. This then is a challenge which I throw out to teachers retiring officially, but still teachers. Let us build a new society on the foundation of the 3 R's: responsibility, respect, reasonableness. The 3 R's, you will agree with me, are the antidote to the major social problems besetting our society. Some will say, as teachers, why ask the teachers? And I will say, why not? If I don't ask the teachers, who do I ask? You see, the teacher's job has always been a challenging one, a demanding one. One American psychologist puts it this way, quote, "Teachers are expected to reach unattainable goals with inadequate tools. The miracle is that at times they do accomplish the impossible task." That's part of the challenge. I'm urging our teachers to become nothing less than miracle workers. Perform that miracle. Because this is what is needed to save our generation. I remind you that you are engaged in a battle for the minds of the young of this generation. If you lose the battle, the future, with all of its potentialities, would also be lost. I'm urging our teachers not to surrender to the negativism and the defeatism which pervade our society. I'm aware that it is tougher now than ever before to teach young people. As teachers, you often wonder, why is it that even the very young are so angry, so hostile, so aggressive, so distracted, so lacking in enthusiasm for learning? Even the little ones. Why? Many of you, as teachers, are astonished at how precocious the young children are when it comes to mimicking the worst habits of adults. How is it, you wonder, that the young ones committed to your care are so disinterested in spiritual values and appear to be absolutely obsessed with material things, like the ever-present cell phones, latest models, most expensive, designer clothes, and you know the rest? Why? To make matters worse for the teacher, you're being called upon to perform this impossible task without the appreciation, encouragement, support, and involvement of parents and guardians, and sometimes even the society at large. In spite of this, I'm asking you to be a miracle worker so that we might have a chance of turning things around.